Good afternoon. I'm here with my Umarex HDR 50. It's a 50 cal paintball. It also shoots rubber balls and chalk balls and pepper balls if you can get them. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of an accuracy test. What I've got 6 cans out there, 2 at 10 meters and the other 4 are at 12.5 meters. I've got some yellow soft training balls and the harder black rubber balls. One thing to mention is when you load these magazines, you push the balls in from the front, by the way. So that's the bit that faces the actual rear of the revolver. Okay, that's the indexing. So you push them in from this side, and when you push them in, make sure they're flush both sides, and then you won't have any issues with them jamming as you rotate. Okay, I mean they're pretty good. They seem to hold the position well because they're 50 cal rubber. Okay, rubber tends to work well in plastics. So I'm going to zoom in, take 6 shots with the black rubber, and then 6 shots with the yellow rubber. I've already put 3 magazines through this, so this is not a brand new CO2. It's quite cool today, about 6 degrees. We've got some breeze down there, you see the flag blowing occasionally, so it's not perfectly still. It never is on my range anyhow. So to load it, you just pop it in, indexing to the rear, like so. You drop this latch forward and that locks in position, so it rotates that way around. Okay. When you pressurise this, by the way, you just knock it, and this pin comes out to show it's pressurised. Okay, so you can put a CO2 in there and not pressurise it. So you can leave a CO2 in. When you need it, you tap it. It's called a HDR Home Defence Revolver. Okay, that's what it stands for. So if you need to use it, just tap it, and it immediately pressurises it. So in theory, you could leave a loaded rubber, let's say a hard rubber ball magazine there, and be ready to go if you need it. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to zoom in and see exactly how the accuracy is. I have done some chrony tests on these 2 balls as well, so I'll show them as soon as we take these shots. Okay, so it's a double action only, so you can't cock it like you can with a rear hammer. So there's a bit of a knack. When you try to pull the trigger, you'll have like an index, and then if you hold it there, you can take the shot. So here we go. First 2 shots at 10 meters. I'm not sure where they're going to go. Good. Just aiming to the base of the tin. Now we're going at 12.5 meters. I'm going to shoot maybe a little to the top of the tin. Just missed, I think. I clipped it. Yep. Yeah, just missed it. Okay. So you can see where the actual black balls were hitting. Now I had put a little bit of white tape on there, okay, to aid the front sight, because obviously this is just pure black. So what I've got a little bit of electrical tape, just a thin strip, and attach it to the front sight. So obviously this is empty. I'll just take the magazine out. This is an empty mag. You can just see when you look down it now, you can actually see that white foresight, which does help a lot. Okay, so I'm going to set them back up, and then we're going to take 6 shots with the yellow balls and see how we do. Okay, so we've got these yellow balls. Now these are the yellow training balls. They're softer rubber, much softer rubber than the black ones. These weigh I did weigh these. These are 17.97 grain, and the black ones are 21.62 grain. I actually weighed 10 and took the average. Okay, so the black's a lot heavier, and these originally I thought they weren't that very accurate. So we're going to give them a go. So you pop them in again. It's not particularly warm today, so we'll see how it goes. We'll zoom in again and see if we can hit them. The good thing about the yellow ones, you can actually see where they're going, so they're a great training ball, and they're easy to find in the grass. So here we go. So we're aiming at the same points as before. So bottom of the can at 10 meters. Right, now it's 12.5. Right, So you can see where the yellow ones were like hitting, and to be honest, they didn't seem as consistent. And I think what it is because they're a softer rubber. As they're fired down the barrel, they probably compress a little, so they don't actually, when they come at the end of the barrel, I don't think they're as aligned with the actual barrel as they go down. So that's why I don't think they shoot as well. So I think the black ones are definitely better, but obviously the problem with the black ones is trying to find them in the grass. So we'll do one more magazine so you can see the action. So I have got one more magazine. So that's 5 magazines used. We're going to use the yellow ball because they're cheap and don't mind losing them. You can get 1,000 for, well, next to nothing really. Okay. So all these balls, by the way, and I've just found a black one in the grass when I went to pick up those cans. It was actually inside one of the cans, believe it or not. Because they're hard, they're reusable. So these come in 500 packs of 500 or containers of 500. And the good thing about it, if you can retrieve them, you can use them again. The yellow ones seem to be exactly the same. Even though they're not as accurate, you can wash them, give them a wash in the sink, dry them, and reuse them. Okay. So this is just a bit of the action of it. So you'll see when I tried, that's got a safety there on the trigger, like a Glock safety. But if you start to pull it, you'll hear a click, just there. Okay. And then if you carry on pulling it, it'll fire. And so you want to get to that point, take the shot, and you'll find it just a little bit more accurate. There it goes. So you should be able to see this action. Yep. That's it. I've got 6 shots. Yep, and we're out. So that's the actual revolver. It's a really nice revolver. It's designed obviously as home defence, so you'd probably use pepper or the hard ball, but you could use the soft ball. You know, the yellow ball can soften enough to use it in your garden. I don't think it'll hurt you. I don't think you'd sink to pick it. It's so soft. I mean, they are really soft, really squidgy, to be quite honest. Power-wise, I'll show you the results from the power. So I did 6 shots through my R2A, and like I said, the dark rubber ones, the black rubber ones, are 21.62 grain, and their power was averaging 5.13 foot-pounds energy, which is very good. Its average velocity was 327, so it's pretty high, and its spread was 23, which, to be honest, the first shot was quite high. The first CO2 for some reason quite warm, and then it settled down. If you take away the first shot, it was only 11.1 FPS spread over 5 shots, which is pretty good, really. The yellow balls, 17.97 grain, they were averaging energy of 4.32 foot-pounds energy, so they don't produce as much energy, but the actual average speed was 329, which is only 2 FPS faster than the heavier hard ball. So not too bad as in performance-wise through the Crony. So you're getting 4.3 with the soft yellow balls, 5.13 with the harder ones, and that seems very consistent. But I think from a training point of view, I think the yellow balls are pretty good, but they're not. I don't find them that accurate, to be honest, where the black ones are definitely more accurate. And I think it's down to the fact that because they're hard, when they go down the barrel, they don't deform under the pressure. Where with the softer yellow ones, I think they deform as they fire down the barrel, and that's what makes them not quite as accurate. Okay, so yeah, good fun. Really nice revolver. The magazine, good. We've just put what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 magazines through. That's 6, 8. That's 48 shots, and it's still shooting well. I do like the fact that you can actually leave it with CO2 in there and just pressurise it when you need it. It's just a tap like that, and that does the job. It pierces the cartridge. The cartridge goes in with the capsule pointing this way, so you pierce it when you hit it. Okay, that comes out when it's pressurised. You know your revolver is pressurised. The trigger actually is, even though it's a double action, yeah, this is empty. It's in fact, what I shall do, I shall put a empty magazine in, just to keep the actual seal intact, so we don't blow a seal. Yeah, you'll see, it's just this point here. Yeah, that bit there, that indexes it. Yeah, you'll see the magazine rotating. That first click, so that rotates the magazine, and it takes a shot. And after the indexing, it's really smooth. So it's just a shame that you haven't got a hammer as well. It'd be nice, because I found the Umarex Tornado revolver, which I have, which is almost identical look, has obviously a single action hammer on it as well, which makes it really accurate. and I reckon if you'd had a single action hammer on this would be more accurate. But it's the nature of those yellow balls that ruins the accuracy. I think maybe I'll try and get some chalk balls for this, because chalk balls are going to be fairly hard, and I think they'll probably shoot better because they're a harder thing. They're like a hard chalk ball. So that's my next thing, to get hold of one of these. But yeah, for value wise, really good value for money. About 110ish, I think, UK. Got a rail on the bottom so you can fit a laser on. Got a rail on the top as well if you want to put a red dot on it. So yeah, but black balls, rubber ball, hard balls are relatively expensive. They're about 41 for 500, where the yellow balls and the chalk balls are about half that price for the same amount. So, and of course, the good thing about the black and the yellow, you can reuse them. So, yeah, personally, I think the blacks are great for accuracy, but trying to fish them out in the grass afterwards is, yeah, find them is a challenge. But the yellow ones, yeah, I think for general fun, the yellow ones will be more than adequate. But they don't fly, they don't appear to shoot that well in a straight line, where the black ones certainly do. Okay, so when I review this video, you'll be able to see where those shots are going. You know, when you look at the actual zoomed-in video footage of the cans, and you'll be able to analyse exactly what's best. But I still think the black's probably best for accuracy, and the yellows are fine if you just want to have a bit of a, yeah, just a blast really, bit of fun. Okay, so yeah, hope you like that little review. Thanks for watching.